Hello. So today we are basically going to discuss the first chapter of this book, which is basically the psychology of money. And I have read the book. I've read the chapter, and what I understand so far is that basically the main point in the first chapter is basically how we experience things is different from person to person. For example, I can experience a particular thing, and I can form an opinion about that thing, right? You will experience the same thing, but you will probably have a different opinion about those things. But I mean, but that doesn't change the thing in itself, right? We have our own opinions about those things, but the thing remains the same. And the same thing actually applies to money as well. I mean, you might think that money should probably be managed in a particular way. I can also think like, okay, this is the way that I should manage my money, but it doesn't really mean that it's my way that's the right way, or your way is the right way, basically. So, for example, in this chapter, the author gave an example like when President Kennedy, when he was running for the presidency, um, a reporter actually asked him like, "What do you think about the Great Depression?" And he said that he did not experience the Great Depression firsthand, and also like his family was very influential, uh, like financially very stable actually, and so the impact of the Great Depression on him and his family was not as prominent as, let's say, any other like a layman or like a common man, for example, right? So the thing is, like, in for him, the Great Depression doesn't actually have actually have that much of an imprint on his mind as as compared to a person who was affected quite a lot by it, for example, right? There might have been people who probably lost their savings, they lost their investments, they lost their, I don't know, maybe they went through very hard times during the Great Depressions, right? So the point I'm trying to make here is that with the Great Depression, different people experienced it differently. I mean, um, John F. Kennedy probably has had a general idea about like how people were affected, but until and unless you experience it like yourself emotionally, and you go through that process, then it's very hard to learn the lesson, or it's very hard to it's very hard to uh, gain insights basically from that experience, because you haven't experienced it yourself, right? And that's the reason like people behave differently with money. I mean, for example, let's say if someone was born in a during a time when the stock market was going really really good, for example, right? So then they would basically form the opinion, not the opinion, basically what they have experienced is that stock market is good. You like if you put money in it, then you will eventually get some profits out of it. So that's the opinion that a person would make who's making money when the stock market is going up, right? Now compare that to a person who basically who experienced inflation in the in the like during his early experiences, he experienced a lot of inflation, right? So would he would behave differently with money compared to a person who saw like stable prices, right? So so I mean, and that I think actually kind of like determines your how you behave with your money, I think. So there is no like right or wrong according to the author, with the psychology of money. There is no right way or wrong way of investing, or how you put your money, how you use your money. It's more about basically how you have experienced the financial um, how would you say that, like the financial, like how has your experience been financially, like investment wise and that kind of stuff. So I mean, yeah, so I think that was the basic concept in the first chapter, but I can also go through more points and highlight some things that I have missed. Da-da-da-da-da. So there is a very nice graph over here. I don't know if you can see it. Can probably see it over here, right? Yeah. So here it says that people who were born in the 1950s, and if you were born in the 1950s, you didn't see. There's a high chance you didn't see the stocks grow. Like you see this, probably you see this line over here. So this is for the people who were born in the 1950s, and when the people born in 1950s, when they were in their teens, they did not actually see the stock market go up that much. But if you were born in the 1970s, then if you were born in the 1970s and you were in your teens, in your 20s basically, not your teens, in your 20s, then this is how the stock market would look like for you. I mean, look at this trajectory going up, like it's crazy, right? So you would form a different opinion, and the person who was born in the 1950s would form a different opinion, and I think they would be a little bit more reluctant in investing in stocks uh, than a person who was born in the 1970s. And I think they would be more confident in investing stocks. So we basically kind of like form opinions uh, based on our experiences, and then we hold on to it. So 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 there is no right or wrong rule when it comes to how you use your money, how you invest your money. And by the end of the first chapter, the author basically says, like, the concept of money in itself has been around for some time, uh, for quite some time. But when it comes to like investing, uh, and like dealing and making profits and that kind of stuff, we are very new to it actually. If you think about it, I mean, it took us like 10,000 years to domesticate a wolf into a dog, and it still has a lot of traits that it basically inherits from its predecessor, right? So it took 10,000 years. And the thing is, like, the investing, the funds, the stock market, the how do you say, the pensions, the index funds, all of this stuff is very new to humans, I think. Not I think, I mean, according to the author. So I So he goes on to say that it's not very clear at the moment, like what strategy is the best strategy actually. We don't know it yet because we are still very new to this whole concept of, as I said earlier, the investing, the selling, and all those kind of things. So yeah, so this is basically the like a generic, like a very rough overview of the first chapter. And I know it's not the best, but the thing is, it's my first video summarizing stuff, and hopefully it's gonna get better from now on. I'm not trying to be perfect right now, but I guess as we proceed to the next chapters and as we get better at explaining stuff, that's the whole point of this video, or the things that I'm basically doing. Then it's gonna be more structured in the future. Maybe you will see some infographics as well. Maybe I will be more to the point, those kind of things. But it's gonna take a little bit of time. So if you're interested, please keep on watching my videos, and then let's see where does it take us. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.